everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Meg and I hate to be making this video, but it needs to be made, and I'm going to share with you makeup that I regret buying. I think it goes without saying that if I show a product in this video that you really love, or it's a brand that you really like, it's nothing against the brand, first of all, okay? No tea, no shade towards any brand. It just comes down to personal choice, what you have used for in your makeup stash. And I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of eyeshadow palettes because that's 90% of what my collection consists of. So like I said, if it's a product that you like and it works for you, great. But I'm going to go into my reasons why I personally wouldn't repurchase, or I wish I didn't purchase in the first place and still have my money. So I'm going to do this based off of what is currently in my collection, because if I went off things that I had that I no longer own or that I purged, we'd be here forever. So based off of what I currently have, I'm going to go through what I wish I didn't buy. Now, there are some things that I received in PR or things that I received that were gifts. I'm not going to include that in this video. It's stuff that I wish I didn't spend my personal money on. So let's hop to it. I also just want to put a disclaimer that I tried some new makeup techniques on myself this morning. So my freckles, still a work in progress. So I know I said mostly eyeshadow, but I surprisingly have quite a few complexion products in here. Complexion products are something that I learned a long time ago that I don't need to like buy access of, and I don't necessarily need to hoard, and that it's really something that I'm trying to work through one product at a time. And I have something in here that I use almost every single day. Two things actually. This is going to be interesting. All right, so first things first, I have this Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid. This was all the rage like 2 or 3 years ago on YouTube. So many influencers were posting about this, saying it made their skin glowy. It was perfect for summer. And while it is really nice and it does have a nice glow, I'll do like a little swatch. I feel like this is probably so gross because it's so old. It just I did not like it on my face, which is what I bought it for. So that's kind of what it looks like. And then here I have it blended into my skin. So it does give like a nice glow, but it's not anything like groundbreaking, if I'm being honest. I feel like I do have to build the product up. This is in the shade Moonstone, by the way, because I love their Moonstone powdered highlighter. It is stunning and beautiful. Love that. So I was looking to have this to lay down first, or like on top of my foundation, just, you know, for that beam and highlight. That was all the rage the last couple of years. And this just wasn't it for me. It didn't sit nicely under foundation. It didn't look nice on top of foundation. So in the summer, except for this summer, because we're all stuck inside, I was using this on my body for shimmer, like on my shoulders and my décolletage. Just to use it up, because I did spend money on it, and even though I used it a lot last summer, I'm still not even half done with it. So I do regret buying this because Becca is quite pricey, and there's a crack in the lid. So the packaging hasn't held up the best. It just literally sits on my desk. So I have some things from Tarte, again, shimmer products, right? So this is Brighter Days. Again, it's like a liquid highlighter. It's more white and pearlescent than the Becca one. And again, it was like very sticky. It looks stunning on your skin by itself, but very like tacky, like almost Vaseline-like. So again, doesn't work great with makeup, but looks really nice on your body. So this is almost gone because I was using this on my body along with this. So I had these 3 highlights that I was changing out. This is their Radiance drops. Again, something that I was like, this is gonna look great under my makeup. Ma'am. So this is an oil, not great for under makeup. And it's just very, very oily, and then it just looks like it has shimmer in it, and it just doesn't look how I wanted it to. It's not my favorite. So those are like the glow products that I've purchased over the years that I was trying to use up. I think it's time for this one to go in the trash, and this is pretty much gone, but it looks so nice on your skin. So this guy, I think I'm definitely going to throw away today. And now my hands are all oily and nasty. All right, so primer. This Morphe primer, it's an eye primer. I don't like it. I didn't find any benefit of it doing anything for my eyeshadow. If you want a really great eye primer, ABH. Amazing eye primer. It is tacky. Shadows are going to stick. So this is good if you like doing colorful looks or if you really want to build and pack your shadows on. If you're just doing kind of like a neutral smoky eye like this, I don't think you really need eye primer. Just put down some concealer, set with powder, and your shadows will blend nicely on top of it. But if you're looking for something a little more, you know, definitely this primer. P. Louise is also really good too, but I think I slightly prefer ABH over the P. Louise base, but this Morphe primer, it's going in the trash. Bye-bye. All right, so last thing that's complexion that is a liquid product is this Urban Decay Stay Naked Foundation. I'm doing a re-review on this. If it's not up yet, it'll be up soon because this has just been a process. I'll go into it in that video, so be sure to subscribe so you can see it if you want to know what is really going on with this foundation. At the end of the day, it wasn't like a miracle, amazing, oh my god, my skin looks so great, and I never really got to give it a full chance. So this has just been sitting in my drawer, therefore a waste of money. All right, let's go on to the powder products that I regret buying. So when I got married, I was like, I need to have the Laura Mercier powder because everybody says that you have to have it for your wedding. Your makeup is gonna be waterproof, it looks stunning and blah, blah, blah. And it's really expensive. It's, I believe, around $40, and I still have some left because I'm like, this is special occasion powder because it's so expensive. But I really like the RCMA no color translucent powder. This definitely doesn't have flashback, so it is great for photography, but for everyday life, I can't bear using such expensive powder just to set my face. Like, it wasn't that groundbreaking or transformative or like locked my makeup in better than my RCMA powder. So yeah, I definitely felt like this was like, I need to have it for my wedding, but I could have done without it, to be honest. Now, this is something that I use pretty much every single time I do my makeup, except for today, because I just wanted to do strictly bronze. This is the Tarte Pro Glow Palette. If you're somebody that doesn't have a lot of highlights, or like you're not picky about your highlights, this could be a good product for you, but I literally only use the contour in this palette. That's it. I don't like any of the highlights. They're okay. They're kind of chalky. They don't really like blend into the skin nicely. They weren't like sickening and blinding. The cream contour also wasn't that great, and I hate that there's a cream product in with the powder. I just feel like yucky about it, so I never open this side. I literally only use the contour palette or contour color in here. So if I could just buy this on its own, I, you know, could have saved space because this is bulky and saved some money. Moving on to highlights. I have this highlight right here. This is Hypothermia Skin Frost by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I got it because it's hard, because like in real life, it looks purple and blue. Okay, on camera right now, what I'm seeing in my monitor is brown. And that's my problem with it. So when I first saw this in the Morphe store, like it's gorgeous. Like the dual chrome reflect in here is like red, blue, and purple, and I thought it was going to be this vibrant red, blue, purple highlight because I was like, I want to have a colored highlight. Even on my hand, like it reads red, but then when you look at it on camera, it looks brown. Like if I had a darker skin tone, maybe this could work for me, but for my pale and pasty ass, this does not work. And I didn't realize it until it was too late and I couldn't return it because I wasn't near a Morphe store at the time. I bought this when I was in Vegas. So I'm sad that this just, you know, shifted brown, and I didn't realize it until I came home and filmed with my beauty lights on, and I'm like, oh my god, it's like a brown stripe on my face. Next are two Urban Decay highlighters. This is the Kristen Leanne collection. The one in the middle is okay. It's pretty nice, but it's not something that I love enough that I reach into to use on a daily basis when I do my makeup. The other two colors are just like, it's okay. I did buy this on sale, so I think it was like on sale for like $12 or $16. So like overall, it wasn't like a huge waste of money. But yeah, it just wasn't worth it for this middle shade right here. And that's what the other two look like. So they're nice, but it just wasn't, you know, it didn't suit my fancy, you know? And then another highlighter. I got the entire collection. I love Urban Decay. They're my first love when it comes to higher end makeup. So I did get the entire collection, but I could have done without this palette. I was really mostly intrigued with the pink because, again, a colored highlighter. And actually, I might put like a little bit on today. Let's do that. See, it doesn't like read very pink though. But I get that the average consumer doesn't want to walk around with a pink highlight, but I could do without it, you know? Again, it's something that I don't really reach for. I was like forcing myself to use and I didn't love it. Last complexion product is this brow gel from Milk. If you've seen some of my videos, you've seen me talk about this. I just wasn't wowed by it. Like, it colors my brows and it combs them into place, but I feel like even my hair pushes my brows into weird positions because now they have a gel on it, so like they're stiff, but like they still move around. So like it wasn't giving me like that glued to my face gel effect that I was hoping for. And the color is okay. This is like the lightest shade they have. I wasn't like super impressed with it. I definitely prefer soap brows, and I'm going next on my list is brows 4 different ways. So 4 different ways to do your eyebrows. If you're interested, again, subscribe. So I like didn't love it, but I was like, I need a brow gel, and I didn't really know what else, you know, I didn't feel like going back to the store to return it. So I've just been using it. It's okay. It's not something I would repurchase or really recommend for someone that's looking for a brow gel. All right, that is all my complexion products. So now I'm going to go ahead and move on to eyeshadows. Okay, I opened up my second drawer, which is like my eyelash drawer, so I'll get into that in a second. But I also have my individual shadows in here. A lot of these I did get in Ipsy bags, so like I didn't buy them. But any kind of individual shadow is a loss for me because I pick up a palette. If it's just sitting in here, like I forget about it. Like this color from Urban Decay, stunning, cobalt blue, gorgeous, but I always forget that it exists because it's a single. I did buy this one and I love it. It is so good. These Naked Cosmetics loose shimmer shadows, love, but always forget that they exist because they're in here. So I also got like this Urban Decay glitter kit and I haven't really used it. So individual things just don't work for me. What about you guys? Do you have individual shadows? Do you like them? Do you prefer them? Or are you like me and they just kind of sit in your drawer and you forget that they exist? All right, so lashes, I absolutely hate the Ardell lash glue. They reformulated it. It irritates my eyes. It sticks onto my eyes for days. I hate it. I love Socialize lash glue. It's amazing. It's vegan. It comes off. It doesn't irritate my eyes. I also really like the Revlon lash glue, but I literally can't find it anywhere. So pretty sure they discontinued it. Speaking of Socialize, I was really interested in their lash glue. I'm supporting the brand because Carissa Pukas was the owner of it. And I really like her as an influencer. So I picked up some lashes to make the shipping worth it. And this is from when the brand first launched. So they're completely different now. Their lashes are different, but they're just so like long and thin. I personally didn't like them on me. I'm very picky when it comes to my lashes. Ardell Wispies are my go-to because like they add some thickness without being too long. I don't like super dramatic lashes. What else do I have in here? And the last thing that I have in here, I literally got this like almost 10 years, like it's old. This is a Brow Genius kit. This is when they didn't really have waterproofing for brows and I have like no brows, and I remember I was like, I want to go to water parks. And I, you know, don't want to go looking like an alien. I want to feel like a human, have brows, but not have them fall off. So it's kind of complicated. It's a powder and then you set it with this gel. I just have held on to this for collection purposes, but I do regret spending my money on it. I do love their pencils. Brow Wiz, holy grail, but this, not so much. All right, I am gonna run through these eyeshadow palettes by drawer, so stick with me here. The first thing that I regret buying is this Dose of Colors, the first collab with Desi and Katie, just because some shadows you have to use wet, some shadows you use dry, and like it should say on the back. So that design was a little bit flawed, and I just didn't reach for them as much as I thought. The formulation though, in their eyeshadow palette, oh, one of my top palettes. Honestly, so good. This you know, it was their first one. They kind of made adjustments and the adjustments were well improved. So I kind of wish I didn't get this. As much as I love them and love this collab and I'm obsessed with the packaging, I kind of wish I didn't purchase this. Next up is Huda Beauty Desert Dusk eyeshadow palette. Okay, like kind of another situation here with Twilight. It's the same as like that highlight. Like it looks really cool in the palette, but then on it kind of like turns brown. And I just have so many neutral palettes that this didn't stand out for me. The formula wasn't like, oh my god, this is an amazing formula, it's going to be my new go-to palette. It does have pretty colors in here. I remember being really disappointed with this purple. And then I also don't really stray towards warm toned shadows. So like a lot of colors in here were kind of lost on me, but I remember when this first came out on YouTube, like every influencer like had me sold on buying it. So thanks a lot to YouTube. Another thing I regret buying, and I hate saying this, but this is the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia. This was the first ABH palette I ever bought, and again, it's something that seemed like a staple that so many people loved. So many people love their formulation, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. And you know, at the time, they mostly had neutral shadows. This was like pre-Norvina really dipping her toes into the color for the brand. So I decided to go with this. It's a classic palette, like you can't really go wrong with it, but I never find myself reaching for it is the issue. I do love the Dusty Rose color. That may have been the one thing that sold me on the palette. And the shimmers in here are really, really beautiful. And I like Cypress Umber a lot, but I just always forget about this palette. Like it's forgetful to me because I have other go-to neutral palettes, which I think I'm gonna make a video my top eyeshadow palettes for beginners, or like what you should spend your money on. So I think that's a video that I'm going to make as well, just because I have other palettes that I like better with the color selection and formulation over this. So I do kind of regret spending money on this, as beautiful as it is. All right, the next thing. I think a lot of people regret spending their money on this, right? These just weren't it, sis. The second collab with Jaclyn Hill and Morphe. You have to work to make these eyeshadows work for you. And for me, I don't like it when my makeup feels like a chore necessarily. I get like some colors you do have to work and like build them up. It's kind of similar with the James Charles palette, if I'm being completely honest. Like you have to work that palette. I don't regret buying it, but it's a difficult palette, okay? But these I do regret because I don't really necessarily reach for them. It was more for like collection purposes, but the original Jaclyn Hill palette, again, it's amazing. One of the best palettes out there. This just, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard so many people say similar things. I don't need to go on about it, right? Another palette I regret spending my money on is the Tarteist Pro palette. But listen, Tarte was like on top of their game about 5 years ago. And when this palette came out, like it was amazing. Everybody raved about it. But unfortunately, the formulation is quite chalky, a little bit ashy. It doesn't blend well. The pigment isn't quite there. There's just, eyeshadow has changed so much since this palette came out. I feel like Tarte, like, what are they really up to, you know? So I do regret buying this. Again, it was a palette that I saw all over YouTube, and I, at the time, didn't really have any neutral palettes, so I thought it would be a staple. I thought this was going to be something that would stand the test of time in my collection, but a year or two after I got it, I was like, I stopped reaching for it, because I think then the original Jaclyn Hill palette came out, and that topped everything for me. That was a makeup game changer. Do you ever go to take a sip of something and then like there's like your dog's husky hair just sticking out top of the straw? Moving along. This is interesting. This is kind of something that I regret painting, or buying, because it's for painting. But I think I just need to educate myself more on it. I don't know, like everybody talks so highly of these, says that they're amazing, but I found it really difficult to work with. If you have this, let me know, what are your thoughts on it? I just got my fingers so dirty. I literally have a drawer that's full of one brand, and it's like the last drawer that I have, so this makes me sad to do this part of the video, honestly. It's like the most upsetting for me. All All right, this is kind of a hot topic because so many people don't like this brand at all and haven't for a long time, but I love this brand. I would love to be like on their PR list one day. But Urban Decay, okay? I have two palettes that I pulled because I love my collection. I love their shadows. To me, they were such innovators. Like about 10 years ago, no one was doing bright, colorful makeup. They were the only brand in Sephora that didn't have just neutral eyeshadows. And then I feel like everything flip-flopped and they started doing only neutrals, and then other brands started doing colors. So Urban Decay, please, 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 please go back to your bright, fun, colorful palettes. My favorite palette of yours is your 15th anniversary palette. Palette is amazing. The colors in there are truly remarkable, but I regret buying the Naked Heat palette. I use this palette like maybe 3 times, but I won't get rid of it for collection purposes because I loved the first 3 Naked palettes, okay? Like I remember when the second one came out, you know, waiting online for it to go for sale so it wouldn't sell out. The same thing for the third one. They were really game changers when they first came out, and then I feel like they never really left the Naked. They just kind of like clung on to it a little bit too long. Those palettes were amazing. This one, again, I don't like warm tones, but because it was a Naked palette and it's like the first one they launched in years, I was like, I need to have it. So many other people really enjoyed it and came up with looks that they liked, and I was like, maybe I'll like it, but I just don't love warm tones on me. Like reds, I don't like reds. So yeah, I do regret spending money on this, and even though I got it for collection purposes, I don't feel like I need it in my collection, but I won't get rid of it. Okay, 2 more things to quickly talk about. Any liquid lipstick I regret buying. I purged a lot of my lip collection about 1.5 to 2 years ago. But this is the Ofra one that they collabed with Nicki, or no, this is the Ofra and Ipsy collab. Again, it came in an Ipsy bag, obviously. It's okay, I just don't like liquid lipsticks. I have some from like CoverGirl and L'Oreal back there too, but I got those through influencer, so technically I didn't spend money on them. I just not a fan. And then also these LA Girl, I was so excited for these liners, okay? These are the LA Girl Shockwave. They are not that pigmented, and they should be. So that was mostly a disappointment. They're inexpensive, so like I don't fully regret, like you really have to build them up, and still the pigment was just not there. I want like bam, hot pink, like coming out through the screen at you on my waterline, okay? And that's not the case. So I was disappointed with these. All right, that wraps it up for my makeup I regret buying video. Did you guys like this kind of video? Let me know. If you would like my top picks or like top recommendations, let me know in the comments down below. And let me know, what is something that you regret buying that is sitting in your collection or that you once had that you purged? And to avoid this being super negative, also leave what your favorite item in your collection is as well. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to hang out with me. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.